When the state budget wasn't even a month past due, the issue of SUNY empowerment had already become a big point of contention. Now, Western New York Assemblyman at that time, Mark Schroeder, went as far as to call his conference leader, Speaker Sheldon Silver, an obstructionist for blocking the bill. Let's fast forward to today. The issue is still delaying the final passage of a state budget, as two Western New York senators say they will not vote for the revenue bill unless they get a SUNY deal. My next guest says he's got their back. Assemblyman Mark Schroeder joins us from Buffalo tonight to talk more about this issue. Assemblyman, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Liz. Thank you very much.
So when was the last time you spoke to Bill Stokowski and Antoine Thompson, the two senators that we talked about earlier?
I have not spoke to Senator Thompson since we were in Albany. I have talked with Senator Stokowski a few times this week, but we kind of passed each other going to different events. So I really haven't talked to him, in a comprehensive way pertaining to UB 2020 or SUNY 2020.
Now, I've read your comments in the newspaper, and also you and I have spoken about this, but I keep harping on this because I just find it so fascinating. You're not getting paid, nor are any of your colleagues, mostly because Bill Stokowski, Antoine Thompson, Brian Foley, and whoever else is with them on this SUNY issue won't vote yes on the revenue bill because they're holding out for this. And you think he's a hero. I know a lot of your colleagues are quite angry at them.
Well, I just think there was a great statesman. His name was Elbert Hubbard, and he used to say, initiative is doing the right thing without being told. I just think that Senator Stokowski and the other senators you mentioned are doing the right thing. They've been involved in this Empowerment Act, as I have been also for the last 2 years. This is a very serious initiative. This is an initiative that is coming from the Chancellor of the State University of New York, Nancy Zimpher. It's been voted on unanimously, including the student representative on the SUNY Board of Trustees. And this is something that is very, very important. And quite frankly, the information that Nancy Zimpher and others released is that this is a comprehensive plan to provide financial stability to SUNY. Also, it invests in new jobs statewide, and even if a pilot program is done here in Buffalo, that would mean approximately 7,000 jobs here in Western New York, and also it will help drive and transform New York State's economy. And that is the reason, Liz, I believe Attorney General Andrew Cuomo, who's a candidate for governor, has endorsed this program, because he says in his 263-page report, his agenda for New York, that he's interested in New York State being the jobs capital of the nation. And so this is one way to do it, with 64 campuses across the state with an initiative. And you are right. The only ones holding this up is the Speaker of the New York State Assembly and also the Chair of Higher Education. They have major problems with this. We've had debate after debate in conference, and they just won't budge an inch. They think they know more about Western New York than we do, and they don't.
Assemblyman, I would love to be a fly on the wall in your conference when you have these debates. But let's talk for a second about that pilot program. As you mentioned, this is something that we're just learning today, actually, that the Senate Democrats have introduced a bill, a standalone bill we call it here. That means that it is no longer embedded in the revenue bill. It is not part of the budget at all, which is something that the Speaker said that he wanted. He thought it was inappropriate to continue to put this into the budget argument. So that's a give for him. This pilot would be Binghamton, Stony Brook, Albany, and of course Buffalo. This is something that you could see. Do you think that your conference, and I'm not in these negotiations with your conference, do you think they could see their way clear to doing this kind of thing?
Well, I do. I think over the last several weeks we have had heated debates in conference over this issue, and certainly to Assemblywoman Crystal Peoples' credit, she has been very articulate, and she is trusted amongst the New York State Assembly and also the Senate. And so I believe that the pilot program is moving forward. However, my hope is that this remains within the budget process, unless the Speaker agrees publicly that he has agreed to the pilot program, and then the budget process would then be completed upon the votes of the Senate for the revenue bill. But I think we need to have an agreement, a three-way agreement, that this pilot program is going to take place. And if there is not a three-way agreement, I am not happy at all. This is not a good day if this is the way it ends up.
Now, do you not think some cynical people, myself included, would suggest that the Senate Democrats have introduced standalone bills with, it should be noted, no sponsors? These are Senator Rules is sponsoring this. That's the Rules Committee that doesn't have anyone is taking responsibility for this, with no same-as companion bills in the Senate. That this is just sort of a cover yourself sort of thing, if you will, that the Senate will come back on Wednesday or Thursday, pass the revenue bill, everyone can get paid, your colleagues in particular in the Assembly very upset about not getting paid, and then Senator Foley, Senator Stokowski, et cetera, could go back and say, we tried. Would you encourage them not to pass the revenue bill unless, as you say, there's a three-way agreement?
The scenario that you just unveiled, if that's in play, that is despicable. And you know, I have a big mouth, and I will have plenty to say about it. The only way this works, the Senate has passed a one-house bill before, big deal. And so, therefore, the Senate is in a position that they can force the Assembly into this. And they've started something that they better finish. And if they don't finish this, it's been a colossal waste of time. And so, therefore, I am very hopeful that the scenario that we've just talked about is not going to happen, and that there will be a three-way agreement. If the Speaker continues to bully this process and to suggest that he does not want this in the budget process, that's fair, as long as he agrees to a negotiated compromise. If a negotiated compromise is a pilot program for the 4 universities, especially Buffalo, that I'm advocating for, is there, then it's a good day. If it isn't, then this has just been a waste of time.
Let me ask you on a personal level.